There we go.
I'll have to agree to that one. Well, welcome. My name's Karen O'Neill. I am your hostess this morning, and I am so happy to be here. I want to welcome everybody. If you're brand new, I want to give you a really special welcome. Welcome. And if you've been here for a long, long time or a very short time, I want to give you a very special welcome. Welcome. We're so happy to have each and every one of you here. And this is basically our wonderful Monday morning chat. Sometimes we sneak in the Monday morning miracle because that's what it feels like. And it isn't a miracle, it's science, but oh my goodness, it feels like a miracle so many times. And we love it. We do want to remind you that we are not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any named diseases. And make sure that when you're talking about your story that you leave that part out, just talk about symptoms. It's really important. And then I want to start with a little quote this morning as you're all still coming in, is nothing in the world is so powerful as an idea whose time has come. And that's by Victor Hugo. And the reason I like that quote is it really reminds me of David. And the idea whose time has come is that we don't have to age the way our parents aged, the way our grandparents aged. We don't have to. And I'm actually going to start out with a testimony because I want to just bring in something that's really important to me personally, and it could be important to you and some of your friends too, is that LifeWave has really changed my life in that just before we found LifeWave, I had given up on losing weight. I had lost about 120 pounds. And when my dog died, I just forgot to pay attention, and bingo, in no time at all, I gained 60 of it back. And I decided until I learn to maintain, I am not going to try to lose any weight again. Now, LifeWave does not have weight loss products, but have you heard Dr. Nicholas say that when you use LifeWave, when any other thing you're doing, it gets enhanced and better? Well, the last 2 years, I lost some weight, and then I've been able to maintain within a pound, and I've decided to start my weight loss journey again. And am I able to video share?
Yes, you are.
Okay, because I want to show you a picture of me 20 years ago in Fiji with a guide. And I want you to realize that this was 20 years ago. And now I've been using LifeWave for a couple of years, and you might rather be in Fiji than Colorado Springs. But I would rather be me now than me then. And let's see, wait, no, I can't do this because I have a video of it. So I think I just have to do this. That is me 20 years ago. Now, really and truly, I saw your face, Sarah, and I agree. That's me 20 years ago. I'd rather be me today, and I'm not afraid of aging. And I know I am absolutely 100% sure that the main reason I'm able to keep this off is because of LifeWave products. They didn't help me take it off. They didn't help me. I mean, I eat better than I used to. I do a lot of things, but no matter what I did, no matter how I ate, I used to always gain it back. So I am so grateful to LifeWave. Okay, your turn. Who's going to come up next? Who's going to bless our community this morning?
Karen, hey, it's Helen.
Hi, Helen.
So I did put this up, but I want to just share it here. So
good.
So I had this skin condition on my right foot that was actually like torture. So it was inflamed, it would blister, it would burst, there would be dry skin everywhere, and it would itch like crazy, and I mean like crazy. And then you're not supposed to scratch it because it would make the inflammation worse, but you couldn't help but scratch it. And it was almost like torture and relief at the same time, if that's possible. So for 4 decades, I dealt with that. And it would happen in very hot weather, damp hot weather was even worse. But there's no sign of it at this point. And I've been wearing the patches for 2 years as well. And it supposedly is incurable. And the only thing that would take the itch away would be some chemicals, that you'd get down at the drugstore. But I am telling you, water relief. And when you're walking around, in the summer with your bare feet out, it's a lot better to not have some ugly red old foot that draws everybody's attention. So I am very grateful, just like you, Karen. For me, it's life-changing.
Oh my gosh, it is. And I'm pretty sure you'd rather have your feet today than 40 years ago, or your foot. And
Absolutely. I love
exciting.
my foot now.
yeah, we can just look forward to every year because more and more things get better and better.
You got that right, hon.
Awesome. Thank you, Helen. I really appreciate you sharing this morning. I
I'd
know
like-
we all do.
I'd like to share how I looked 2 months before X39. So big difference for me.
That's awesome. Yes. And isn't that wonderful to be where we are and be looking forward to getting more years, but not more
Getting
age?
younger and younger.
Yes, it's so fun. Woohoo. Okay, who else is ready to shine and share your story?
I would put my hand up, except my computer doesn't seem to have a hand to put up.
It's Mike, it's really okay. I haven't figured out the hand, so your voice works really well.
Okay, yesterday I was streaming a church service, and about halfway through it, I started to get what I call lightning bolts. They come in from the side, which indicated that I was starting to get a migraine, which I haven't had in forever. And then I realized that it was 2 hours after I should have been put my X39 on. So I went over and I put the X39 on, and within 30 seconds it was gone. The symptoms
Holy kitties.
disappeared.
That's wonderful.
I was going,
Oh,
yay!
what a blessing. And then that made you ready to shine, right?
That's right.
I got that from a guy I listen to on YouTube. I love it when he says that he's so upbeat and positive. And I thought, yeah, we're here to shine. And LifeWave helps us shine better. Thank you, Mike, and blessings.
The migraines that I get or used to get a long time ago, they never hurt. I would just lose my eyesight. That would be my peripheral vision would come down. It was like I was looking through a toilet paper tube. And it's okay if you're sitting in your living room, but when you're driving down the interstate at 70 miles an hour and that happens, it's real disconcerting.
I would think so. Oh my gosh. Well, I am really glad that helped so quickly. And the X39, it's such an amazing technology. Awesome. Thank you for blessing us this morning, Mike, with your story.
Okay.
Who's next?
This is Kay here, and I have 2 real quick questions and then a testimonial, although I think maybe the fellow might be online that I want the testimonial from. So first of all, I have a new distributor, and he's going to San Diego on vacation in 2 weeks, and wondered if you can visit home office. Is home office in San Diego? Can we get a quick update on that, maybe from Gregory?
Yeah, Gregory, I know it's in San Diego, and I think you can visit, but Gregory would know.
Yeah, there's less and less to visit because they've been in the process of moving the corporate headquarters to Utah. And they have about 30 or 40 employees in Utah now, and about 3 or 4 in San Diego.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, and is Utah in this Salt Lake area?
You're muted, Gregory.
muted.
You're muted, Gregory.
Oh.
You were quick to mute yourself.
Yeah, it's south of Salt Lake. One of the I don't know.
It's in Provo.
Provo.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
where
that's
that
close.
is. The next question I had is I have a fuzzy eye developing that you get with old age, and I'm using the carnosine next to my eye every night. I tried it with the sleep mask last night. I didn't sleep well because of the mask. So is it just as effective to wear it next to the eye as on a mask over the eye?
I believe you can wear it on your temple. It's going to go to the exact same location.
Okay, perfect.
And yeah, and so I don't think you have to worry about that. Temple will be fine.
So the gentleman that I signed up that asked about San Diego is a COVID long hauler. He's a very large man and he's breathing poorly. His lungs are inflamed. He's very, very uncomfortable. So he came over and got patches on Friday. And when I talked to him yesterday, you could hear a total difference. He was breathing well. He wasn't coughing. We put him on Eon and X39. I was out of glutathione, so I couldn't give him that. And he was very pleased. I think he might be the hands up. Ralph, is that you there? If so, can you unmute yourself and give your testimonial? I saw that his phone number was here, but maybe he doesn't. Oh, there he is. He's farther down. You're not hands up. If you're here, Ralph, and can unmute, at any rate, he doesn't seem to be doing that. So I did want to share, if you have other people who can't get their energy back, who are still not breathing well, he had this quite a while ago, I believe, that those two products were extremely helpful for him.
Awesome. Thank you. That is important. And it's like a miracle, but it's science.
He certainly believes that.
Mhm. Yeah, I had a gal that I had told her about it a year ago, and she finally decided to try it. And she told me she never.
Your phone just went off. It was
Sorry,
text,
the picture
I think.
shocked me because all of a sudden it was big. Anyway, she told me that she can't imagine ever not using them again. So it makes you feel really good when you help people that way. So who's next? Who wants to come in next?
All right, this is Tammy. I've had my hand up. I have kind of a question for the group. I'm fairly new. I'm under K, and it's been 4 months, and I have tons of personal testimonials, but I've been really working with animals, and I've gotten some interesting lab results on my dog, as far as apparently the X39 has actually changed his lab work, which is awesome. But I'm curious, with other people that have been using these for a much longer period of time, if anybody has anything interesting in that regard to share as far as their own blood work or any other type of diagnostic on that science side that would just be interesting to know about. You know, I know we're not curing or doing anything that way, but I have actual proof, you know, with my dog's lab work. The only difference of anything that changed in his life was the fact that I started using the X39 on him. So I'm curious if there's any human or any other types of accounts of that type of, I guess, reaffirmation that, you know, the science of this is really working.
I don't know. I guess if anybody is, and if you're not, don't want to talk about it today, you can also put it on our website.
Hey, this is Victoria Reed, and if you go into Vibrant Living, there is a posting in there under the guides, under stories, about a visual of the improvement that's shown in the blood on a, oh, Robin, you can help me with this one, I think. It shows how the blood has changed. Is it the blood gases or something like that? But go into Vibrant Living and check under the guides. There's a story in there that may help you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. That's very helpful. Awesome. And Gregory, I haven't figured out if our hands are up on my computer. It just doesn't show me anywhere, so I don't know.
In the chat.
So if your hand's up, just go ahead and talk until I figure this out.
I have a testimonial from a friend of mine. I
Okay.
gave a Dr. Nicholas call a while back, but this might be interesting for the lady. She's 83 years old. She had a SCIO test done, which is a machine that kind of measures your bodily functions and everything through frequencies. It's an energy machine. And she had a -7 for her immune system. And that's right when she got her X39. This is a little bit over a year ago. And about 3 weeks ago, she had a repeat SCIO done. And her immune system now registered at a +2. So that's a 29-point improvement. And her practitioner was shocked and amazed and wanted to know about the patches. He said that doesn't happen. And especially in somebody that's 83. And so she's got that printout to show anybody. And
That
she's also,
is exciting.
isn't that exciting?
Yes.
And she also had a heart issue where it was a tightness, the kind of a periodic tightness in her chest that would kind of take her down. And I asked her about that the other day, and she said she really hasn't noticed it in many, many months. And the only thing she's changed is the X39. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. That is awesome. That's really exciting. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of that machine?
SCIO, that's SCIO. there's several names for those machines, but naturopaths and energy practitioners use them. They hook you up to the machine with little patches and diodes and things, and then they can check all kinds of things on your body with it. They can also do it remotely.
Wow, awesome.
It's
Thank
an energy
you.
thing, but it's very interesting and a lot of people use them.
Uh-huh. I've heard of them, but I haven't ever used one. Awesome. And that's a good record. It's great.
Karen, if you open your chat, that's where you'll see the hands.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry I have to get a lesson on here. I should have called you, huh?
It looks like Jocelyn has her hand up.
Thank you. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, there. I see some
Hi.
numbers there. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Jocelyn. Thanks, Gregory. Yeah, I have information to share and 2 questions, please. So I just want to add something with what Kay was talking about for COVID long haulers. I've read this article from a credible source that earlier on last year that they used the plasma drip for COVID cases, and it was because it was coming from a COVID patient who had the antibodies for it. So they used the plasma earlier on, and knowing that GHK is isolated in plasma, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking that those, as we know, specialist, inventor, and all those things, scientists, some of them does not even know what photobiomodulation is. So they wouldn't know what the effect of this GHK copper peptide that Lauren Picard has created or isolated for us. I'm thinking that it was because of that ingredients in that plasma that's helping COVID patients. And I've seen a lot of them, and we've had testimonials about that as well. So I'm so excited about our patches. Now, my question for that, I wonder what Dr. Acklin would say about that, or anybody here. And the second question is,
Jocelyn, could you hold on just a second? I just want to make a note that, the internet, they have these crawlers, they listen to words, and we shouldn't be mentioning COVID on our calls. We can say,
long hauler is okay. That's
long
a
hauler is a
symptom.
little
oh,
symptom,
okay.
and I don't even know if we should say virus, but I'm just saying, we don't want to mention disease states. I'm not saying they're monitoring our Zoom, but they monitor everything. I mean, they know when you got a haircut, it's like, so
Okay, sorry about that.
that's okay. Go
Okay.
ahead. You now had a question?
Yes.
Or-
Robin had mentioned in her a call with Dr. Nicholas and Dr. Acklin before about her knees, like bone to bone. And I have a case right now as well that has a bone to bone with lots of numbness in his legs, and it wakes him up at night. We tried Eon and Ice Wave. The first night he had a worse night, he said. I wonder it was just like healing crisis. But I was gonna ask what you would suggest to add on.
X39. That's
Okay.
That's all I used was X39.
Okay.
For the
Okay,
first
perfect.
months,
For
yeah.
the first 90 days before I added other patches. And if it is getting worse, that's a good sign. Acknowledge it, Dr. Nicholas, feeling is healing. And if
Yeah.
it's too much discomfort, then take the patch off, drink lots of water. And then, and I tell people it could be hours, days, or weeks, but the other side of it will be better than ever.
And couldn't he also add Eon at night
Yeah.
for anti-inflammatory
Sure.
calming effect, so he might sleep better?
Yeah, the Eon at night has been a godsend for so many people because
Mhm.
it balances out your whole nervous system, which means everything is working better. It's kind of like the body giving a big exhale, and then everything works better.
So X39 during the day and Eon at night.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
And I
you.
do want to mention that Connie Ward put a post in the chat, and she was using Eon and X39 and glutathione. She was a long hauler also, recommended by Dr. Walter, and she's had really great success working with him, as I've heard many other people. So if you have specific situations, he is available, as are several of our other doctors. So know that that is a resource for everybody. And they do charge a consulting fee. And if you need information, you can reach out to me and I'll get you their contact info.
Thank you, both of you.
Also,
Awesome.
don't forget Nirvana. Nirvana is also a nice little tweak sometimes. And SP6, I think probably neither of those I would say as a first line, but for folks who already have some of the technologies as a foundation, you know, like Robin said, X39 is a good first or good second ad for that. But in a body that's kind of tilting all that way, SP6, you know, a lot of what SP6 does is helps mobilize the repair lipids to all of our tissues. And that's what's supposed to be happening in the sleep state. And it kind of tricks the body into saying, oh, well, this is what happens when I'm asleep. I must be supposed to be asleep.
Wow, Dr. Tom, that is fabulous information. Thank you. I love the SP6.
Love it.
And the Eon that they were talking about. All of them. I actually love them all. But that was wonderful information.
Karen?
Yes, Michelle.
This is Michelle, and I wanted to jump in on what Dr. Tom just shared. Dr. Tom, are you saying that you would use SP6 at night to help with sleep? I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's not really for sleep, but you know, a lot of what we market SP6 for is sugar management. But the real power of it, you know, that's what we say out loud. The real power of it is it handles hormones and it handles all of the repair ketogenesis that's supposed to happen in the fasting state. You know, and most of the time that goes along with a delta wave pattern, delta and theta deep wave sleep. And so it's the same physiologic processes, and the brain sort of, you know, sometimes we have to drag our brains along with our body. Sometimes it's the other way around. But yeah, if you put the body in shape, then all of a sudden you've got a workability in a ketogenic state. And the brain says, okay, I might as well drift off here.
Oh my gosh. I love learning these new things. So Dr. Tom, do you personally use SP6 at night and recommend it to your patients?
Yeah, it goes along with the fasting state, you know, and to the extent that we can create a lot of the technologies support the body to be able to do the thing that's supposed to be happening in a fasting state. And then, yeah, it's great to use at night.
Beautiful.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle, for that extra question, because that did delve better into it. So that's awesome. I feel like I'm in science heaven here. So we really are at the end of our time, and well, not totally at the end of this chat. And I'm going to turn it over to Gregory and Robin and let them update us on all the news.
Sure. I know Victoria's had her hand up for quite a while. So Victoria,
thank you. I still can't see hands even in chat. Sorry.
The top. Oh, I said chat. You know, it's not the chat. It's participants. You click on participants.
Oh.
Click on participants.
Thank you. There we go. Yes, let's let Victoria come on in. Thank you. Good little lesson for me. You know, I mostly did this on the phone.
Hi, this is Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. You've changed.
This is her husband, Jim. I just wanted to add to a testimonial of mine from a long time ago. One of my testimonials was neck mobility, because when I first started the X39, I was only able to turn my neck about 45 degrees in either direction. And then after about a month and a half, it was 90 degrees. Well, I'm here to say now that after 9 months of X39, I am now actually able to go past the 90 degrees, because driving a truck for a living, when you're backing up, you have to turn your neck, you know, to look out the window. And sometimes you got to crane it pretty far. And I've actually gone past the 90 degrees and without pain and restriction, and without necessarily moving my shoulder to do so. but moving my shoulder a little bit further, I can get quite a range in my neck. And one other short little testimony was, we have a 16-and-a-half-year-old dog that we put our used ones, X39s on, and she was sleeping most of the time, and her eyes were getting cloudy, and her eyes cleared up, and she started acting spry like a puppy again. So that's all I got for now.
Oh my gosh, those are such happy stories. And when you can't turn your neck, it is so miserable. I'm so glad you got that. And when our puppies are not doing well, it's miserable. So those are wonderful testimonies. Thank you for blessing us with that. And then
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And I'm glad Gregory taught me how to check out the hands. And Sybil, you came once already. Did you still have something before we go?
I just didn't know if everybody had seen that David Schmidt posted online in the resources a handout on the thing we're not supposed to talk about with the research, and a link to the webinar he did on YouTube.
Oh, where did he post this? I'm taking notes.
In resources, I found it early this morning. Using my app, I went onto the site, and I was stunned because he used the word, and it's all over the handout, and it's got a direct link to the really good webinar he did not too long ago.
Okay, that's resources on our
He's not making any
website.
claims. Yeah, it's on the resources on the LifeWave website, and he's not making any claims. He's just presenting the research, but we can, use our heads.
Right. We can fit the pieces together.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And Gregory, thanks for the lesson today. And I think I will remember this one. And I'm going to turn it over to you now.
You get me instead.
Yay! Either one I'm so happy with.
Yeah, so thank you, Sybil. And I recommend everyone become a happy clicker. That was the webinar David did March 17th of last year, in the early days, where several people actually asked him to educate us. He talked about what it is, what it isn't, how to protect yourself if you get it, natural remedies. So the handout is there and the webinar, and he did 2 other follow-up webinars, but it was education only. He didn't talk about the company or the products. It's just pure education that I recommend everybody look at. And so you go to your back office, you click on resources and market, and then you go over to the left side and you'll see it there, along with a lot of other things that you probably want to look at too. That's just a hint.
So tonight?
Tonight. Oh my gosh. Well, before I just talk about tonight, I'd love 1 or 2 people to talk about the call from Friday last week. Anyone want to say something about
30 minutes away?
It was awesome. She was so good. I learned some things, and I've been doing personal development for 50 years. And I really loved everything that she had to say. I took lots of notes, and if she has any spots available left for that coaching, that would be well worth anybody's time and money, because it was incredible.
Well, thank you, Sybil. So
yeah, I'd love to.
I'm sorry, Doug?
Oh, Doug, yeah, I just wanted to say I was on it too. I've been around a lot of coaches, and I was very impressed. I love Terry. I'm looking forward to being on that 4-part session. I already have a couple of my people that have expressed interest in joining us. And I loved her distinction about that training is telling and information, and coaching is asking questions. That was just ask questions. When you're coaching your people, once they're in, just ask questions.
All right. Well, so tonight's guest, guess who? Is going to be Terry Warner, and we might even get to celebrate her as a new director also. She's been moving quickly. She is a masterful coach. She coaches coaches. She was involved for a long time with the Direct Selling World Alliance in their coach school, training coaches, and we are blessed that she offered her wisdom with us on Friday. We'll get that YouTube up today, available to share. We'll be promoting, we'll be talking about it on tonight's call. And she did offer a 4-week coaching program for $59, which is quite a deal. We have room in the program for more people. We're actually going to be putting up a
Sit down.
for everyone. Kim, you want to mute your line, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he weeded everybody out.
Thank you. She's going to be sharing a little bit about this 4-week program, and we have lots of people registered. We have room for up to 100. We're not to 100 yet, but we will if it's and we'll put all the details in the newsletter today. Bottom line, what happens? Anyone who's in the presence of Terry has huge openings, and people that work with her have quantum shifts in their business, and I think a lot of us would love that. So you're in for a treat tonight on the call. And let's see, I didn't even see, we'll let you know more about what's going on in the newsletter today. So any other final comments from anybody? Okay, I think we're ready to complete our call. I want to thank everyone for being with us. We have lots of new things going on with new teammates that are growing fast and lots of fun happening and amazing stories. So thank you, everyone. And Karen.
We do have a special that started today.
Oh, thank you. I knew I was forgetting something. So the special that started today, David did a talk on carnosine last week. So guess what's on special? Buy 2X39, get 1 carnosine free. And after Gregory watched that call, he said, I will never be without carnosine again. and so it's kind of like the lost stepchild, because it does so much and we forget about talking about it because we talk about so many other things. But Kay mentioned it today. It's amazing for your eyes, for your heart, for your brain. It does incredible things. It accentuates athletic performance. It repairs torn muscles. So when you're working out and you're really working out, guess what you're doing? You're tearing some muscles, which means you're getting stronger. So carnosine is a powerful, powerful patch that will is on special this week. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I guess we get to say goodbye. And thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Robin.
Love these Monday calls.
Me too.
Bye. Thank you. We love them.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.